Welcome to the Rev Match Podcast, Episode 1, the show for average enthusiasts, hosted by average enthusiasts and their respective beverages. Before we get started, we do have some apologies to go over from the previous episode. So we'd like to apologize to all 1995 to 1998 240SX owners, all NA and NB Mazda Miata owners, all 350 and 370Z owners because we forgot your cars existed. Everyone triggered by the phrase "Don't at me, bro," and Elvis from Stance Nation for calling his S13 basically stock. How's everybody doing?
Great. Absolutely
Doing great.
Doing great. Doing great. We'll mess something up here in the next hour and a half, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting on Johnny. He's MIA, but it is his 30th B-Day weekend, so we'll give him
30-30.
We'll give him a pass on that one.
Yes.
So the topic of the day: form versus function. And
Well, hold on.
Uh-oh.
What's everybody drinking?
Oh, okay. I have a Disco Ninja going right now. A little revision,
All right.
hazy. What you
Chris.
got?
I just gotta
You gotta-
Corona.
refresh.
Oh, that's a no. That's that. No. Mm.
Chris,
no,
you
no,
need to
no,
go
no.
away.
You need to go get a. You need to.
You need to go get a beer.
Go get a beer.
Stop.
Go get a
All
beer.
right,
We'll wait.
Give me a second. I'm gonna go grab a beer real quick.
Yeah,
Alright.
no, put the headphones down.
Wow.
I'll wait to hear what they have to say. Put the headphones down. Go get a beer. This shit is.
How is he not prepared for this?
Bro, I just woke up. I literally
Okay,
just woke
okay.
How
up
did
like
you
Okay,
just
now-
45
wake
minutes
up?
Hold
ago.
on.
Wake
Hold
up
on,
and
real
stop the
question
beer. Let's
here.
get this going.
So I see Chris's Camaro in the garage as well as the Camino, correct?
Mhm.
Are you having your mom park her brand new 2019 Porsche Macan S outside?
No, it's in the third car.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
It's in
I'm
the,
just making
it's in the third garage.
You know, I
It's
So
in the
took
can we
out
not
woman,
bring up the
hey,
fact that Chris's mom drives a Porsche when we're trying to sell the whole world?
Oh,
We're just regular car guys thing. Like, we're like, oh no,
I'm
we're
sorry.
normal.
Oh, you know. It's money around.
Mom drives a Bentley, but it's all good. Like, it's all good. Yeah, come on, bro.
We're normal. We're normal here. We're normal.
Yeah. We just all drive $60,000 rally cars day to day. Whatever.
Right,
Get out
you
of
know.
here,
Either.
Mike.
We're
What do you
still waiting
drink?
for you to beer, bro.
Go get a
By
beer.
the way, speaking of
Oh,
rally
yeah.
cars,
Yeah.
I am
I'll
very
be right back.
satisfied
Right.
that Richard
Oh.
said he's taking his STI down the rally direction because I think that's the way that they should go.
I think that's cool. So wait, Timmy has the most hot boy tuner beer of all time in his hands right now.
Oh yeah.
The Corona?
The Corona, bro. You can have any
Okay, this
beer you
is-
want as long as it's a Corona, bro.
Okay, this is birthday beer. Okay,
Alright.
this is birthday beer.
No, it with
Alright.
it. It with it.
Alright.
No,
And
Just-
I got a hazy little IPA.
dude, those things that is probably one of my favorite readily available $9 six packs on the planet right now.
Dude,
It is.
like,
it's
not
everywhere.
Super bitter. It
Nah.
goes down smooth. Like, and you could
You can drink
you
them
could
on a
drink where you're
boat.
bored.
Yeah, you're super golden. All right. So now that we got that out of the way,
Alright.
Timmy brought up a good point, starting with form versus function the other day. If you were buying a new car, and we'll wait for Chris's opinion on this too, but if you were buying a new car, would you go for the automatic or the manual, and why? And a funny story before we start this is that I don't know if you guys remember the last episode I was talking about my buddy who had a WRX, and we were talking about the whole thing, like the new WRXs, they get to 400 horsepower way cheaper than like the STIs do, right?
Yeah.
And he had his white WRX, whatever, and he sold it because they were in a fire or whatever, and he wanted a truck. So he literally calls me yesterday, and he says, I might be getting rid of the truck and buying another WRX. What do you think? And he's like running me through the whole transaction. For everyone listening, I sold cars, so I, ins and outs and stuff. And it goes from him theoretically trading in his Silverado, 2019 Silverado, for a WRX to he signed the paperwork and brought the car home yesterday in the course of like 3 hours, dude. It went from I might be buying this thing to I bought it. And the reason
Okay, so what did he buy?
he bought a 19 World Rally Blue WRX.
That sucks.
What is it? So here's the thing. I tried to talk him into the STI. I tried to talk him into a used STI for like 35, but it was like 7 G's more than the WRX, and he drives in and out of the bay for work. So he's like, the FA is better on gas than the EJ, which accurate because I get like 14
And-
miles a gallon.
Okay.
That STI
Thinking
is
as
a little bit
a
rougher.
sober person, I think that it was a great idea. That
Yeah.
is something that I would do. A brand new WRX is totally something I would buy. The FA
It's a
is
great
fucking
car.
awesome.
It's a great car.
It's reliable.
Yeah.
It gets good gas mileage, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But the stock tune on those,
It's garbage.
get him a stage 1 tune. He's fucking gold
Oh,
for
dude,
life.
he was stage 2 on his last WRX. So like, I'm talking maybe 3 months. That thing will have suspension, wheels, tires, and a stage 2 on it. Like,
But I
there's
mean, you don't even need that. That's the thing with the
yeah.
FA. Like, if you just tune the stock motor,
Oh,
it
true.
makes enough power for you to enjoy it and
Yeah.
still get gas mileage and have a warrantable car. Like, that's what was cool about like working for Subaru for a minute. Like, the FA motor puts good power down
hmm
until you start to play with it. Like,
It
but
has
it,
it
it
has a cap. It has a really
yeah,
hard cap. Like
yeah,
395. Do you really want to hit 400? Probably not. But
yes.
Chris, you just joined us again after grabbing a beverage and actually participating with the group. But we're starting the form versus function conversation with auto versus manual. And I was telling a story about how my buddy uh, just called me yesterday and traded in his 19 Silverado for a WRX 2020 World Rally Blue WRX. And the main reason why he picked that car specifically was this. He needed 4 doors. He has a baby daughter, right?
Okay.
Right.
He wanted something fun to drive. He wanted something all-wheel drive, and he wanted a stick. And there isn't another car that you can buy, as far as I know, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Please, Mike, you can Google it. That you can buy new now that fits all those criteria, other than a WRX or an STI.
And I'm
Well-
I'm just gonna say, like, as somebody that did work for Subaru, the chassis system and the safety that
Oh, the
Subarus
VAs are
offer,
so solid.
it's
Oh,
it's the best. I
I
mean,
have to
you
correct
can get a
myself.
safer car.
You can you can buy a Golf R, right?
Oh
Right,
yeah.
but that's 45 fucking grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
Well,
Yeah, I
so
So
mean,
is
for a
Subaru though,
okay, a
right?
base
If you
model
would've-
yeah,
WRX you
WRX.
can get for 27 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
No, he
that
paid
is
like
the
28.
10 years
safest
Yeah.
ago,
sports
I mean,
car
you
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 can
could
get.
have 10 years ago you could have popped that question off. You could have said like 4 or 5 like
You had
competitors, right?
Evos,
Like,
you had yeah,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
had
yeah,
yeah.
like, but like they started thinking about like there really isn't a competitor anymore. Like
this is the
No.
Mitsubishi
exact
quit
reason
making
why I
the
ended
Evo,
up
like,
back in an STI for the second time. There's nothing that
and
like
and what the Supra is a 55-60,000
but it's a
dollar
right, but it's
Okay,
but it's like
bro.
4 doors. We got to have 4 doors,
automatic.
right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
it's a
the
two-door.
WRX competitor would be a Ford Focus ST,
But that's
which
front wheel
is
drive.
not a competitor, in my
Oh,
opinion, honestly.
It's front wheel
that's-
drive too. So it's like you don't even hit the all-wheel drive box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then an STI competitor would be the Ford Focus
RS.
RS. But like the WRX doesn't have a competitor in its class. Like,
No.
if you're gonna go all-wheel drive, you're pushing into STI price range. So it's the WRX wins everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
but
Wait.
look for
you can get an all or 4-door Nissan Sentra. That's
Oh,
It's
it.
dude,
front
that's
wheel
like
drive.
12 grand.
This
Okay,
front wheel
that's like
drive
12
again.
grand.
All-wheel drive. Like all-wheel drive. Come on.
Can't you get his Nissan Sentra all-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
no.
can.
Yeah.
Google
Yes,
it.
you can.
Google it. I don't believe that. I don't want to give too many apologies. If we come out here and we're talking about all-wheel drive Nissan
And
Sentras, I don't believe that for a second.
Kia Fort too in a 6-speed.
Forte.
Fort
It's up there
Forte.
googling on the friggin' internet.
You can Google it. You Google is open source. We just can't put anything up that's like we can't put it. No.
See? Oh, no, it says Rogue Ultima GTR.
Okay. Get out. Oh, he could have just bought a GTR, bro. Like, why didn't he just buy the GTR, bro? Get out of here,
the
Timothy.
That's the obvious one to get.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't everybody have a spare 100 grand lying around? Come on. So
You
yeah,
get hit
so
by the UPS truck. I mean, you cash
dude,
out.
I
That's a new
wish. Wouldn't that be the
GCR.
best? That would be the best.
Dude,
I
right?
wish
Okay,
I
so
was a
but
part of
the
that
whole-
giant
the whole
semi
point-
accident.
Okay,
Kidding.
Timmy,
That was a
Timmy,
joke.
so-
Those were jokes.
so-
The
Nick-
whole point is there's no other car that is an all-wheel drive car that like the
Sub 40
WRX that
grand.
has a turboed motor. Yeah, and I mean a base model from selling Subarus, a base model WRX you can get before taxes for 27 grand. So if you're paying 27 grand for a brand new WRX, what else compares?
and you have a
There is no
ton of
all-wheel drive
yeah,
turbo car.
and there's a ton of aftermarket support for it, right? Like that's like
Yeah.
the S,
Dude,
yeah.
well, and how much those cars are like Legos, right? I mean, I remember
Oh
from
yeah,
having my '02 or '03, like you could buy like this, and this, and piece this all together for like
Yep.
pennies on the dollar. And you could grab from all different years,
yeah.
and it's like a treasure trove, right? You go to
The
like a
biggest
junkyard, you're
problem you
like,
have is the only, as far as I know, the only two major things that are a pain because they switched to FA is the intake and the J pipe, right? Because it doesn't.
Yes.
The old ones used to run the downpipe that was almost exactly the same as the STI downpipe, so you could like put a W. I think you could put a WRX downpipe on an STI, but since they switched to the FA instead of the EJ block, they have a J pipe, which like comes out the side of the block, right?
"Ugh."
Whatever.
Well, it comes out the side at the very bottom of the block.
Right, but that's a $700 part. Like that's not like a break the bank
Yes.
part. But after that, it
Yes.
terminates at the same spot that the EJ downpipe terminates at. It's the same exhaust, so like you can
Yep.
get away with. That's the only that and the intake are the only two fucky parts. Everything else is the same. So even to the same, even like the suspension shit, right? Like you can run older coilovers. You can run like Hawkeye coilovers on a V8. They fit, they bolt up. The only difference is you have to take the camber plates off and put a solid mount on because the new ones don't require camber plates in the back. But so it's they're like Hondas, right? The same type of shit. Everything kind of fits into each other, all that types of shit. So if so let's dig into this. If you were buying a new car as a daily,
hmm
what car would you buy? Why would you buy it? And if you had the option, would you get it as a stick or an auto? And why?
What's the budget? What's the budget?
What's your budget?
So I mean,
I'd say,
as a
I'd say
lead into the conversation, I mean, I bought an S4
Right.
because I drive 35 miles to work, 35 miles home from work. It is comfortable, it's luxurious, and when I go out with you guys, Chris is the only one that can eat my ass. So
I'll eat that
So-
ass all day,
Shame.
baby.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dang.
Straight fire. I don't know. Like, was that like a backhanded compliment? I don't really know how to take that.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you know what? I'm not
was,
sure.
it was.
I'm not
See,
sure.
when you got Chocolate Thunder coming down on you, bro. I mean,
Hey, dude, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like Chris, you even said it yourself. Like, I almost shot my pants when you were behind me. Like, but here's the
I
thing:
can't sing enough
you
praise of that
needed
barrel
to
right now,
add
dude.
suspension before you could do that to me.
Well, no.
Stock
It's an-
versus stock, the S4 is like one of the best handling cars I've ever driven.
I think you got
mean-
a lot more confident. There's something about knowing your car is on. It's so fucking dumb
Yeah.
too. But like knowing your car
Yeah.
is on a nice set of, like, even my car, I feel way more
Yeah,
comfortable in my car with
you're right.
coils on it now. I'm just like
Yep.
this. She's got it. It's fine. Now it's got Michelin's on it and shit. I'm like, it'll take it. It's good. You know what I mean? It's
I mean,
like,
dude,
I don't need to
okay,
slow down.
when Chris
exactly.
came up on my ass, like, dude, I felt a turtle. There was a turtle.
Oh, to turtle.
dude, like I was surprised I didn't come around the corner one time and you guys weren't like fucking wrecked off the side of the road because Chris was so far up your ass, like you just
Dude, we were gone. Okay, we were
I mean,
going so
I'm really
I like-
sucked.
fast.
I'm really
I
bummed
say
I
no
missed that
joke.
drive.
When I
I'm
say
really
no
bummed I missed that
joke,
drive.
they left me, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be slow about it, but like Timmy's like picking up the pace and Kid is like this on him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're
Right,
gone. And
because
I'm
you
like,
have that moment, right, where it's like, do I ride the ragged edge and maybe kill myself, or do I just admit that these dudes are running faster pace than I am and just like let it be what it is? You know what
like
I mean?
I don't have the power to keep with that. Like I gotta get out of the way. So
Yeah.
bye.
I
Like,
mean, dude, Kid's got all the fucking power in the world, right?
I'm like, yes. And with the actual suspension setup on it, it puts it down so well. Like, my car
that car
stock,
felt so
it-
sorted when I drove it.
I was so
sorted.
great. I just enjoyed as much as my car did stock and everything. And then when Chris came up on me, I was like,
So,
and I'm
yeah.
doing it as much as I can. And Chris was just scaring the shit out of
So,
me.
hot take, folks, to everyone listening: if you want a sub $35,000 Canyon Carver, buy a used 2016 or newer Camaro.
Yes.
and then overnight parts from Japan. I spent about
No,
7 or 8
yo,
grand.
overnight parts for Kentucky. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, no. If I went the tuner route, knowing what I know now, I would buy a used, 2010, 2011 Nissan 350Z with the HR motor. Like, knowing those things rev to fucking the moon, and
Yeah.
you just have an
Wait,
angry
can you
dragon.
get, wait,
yeah.
could you get the HR in the 350? Or was it only in the?
Yes,
You can get not just the G37s. You can get it in the 350.
in a 350. It came in
Okay.
the 350, I think, with like a 6-speed manual.
Yeah,
And
they're
that
all
thing revved
6-speed.
to the fucking moon. Yeah.
The easiest way to tell is the dual intakes, because that was the whole thing, right? Is that like, if you look at the older ones, it has a single intake, and then the two. I don't know what the cylinder number is, but the cylinders closest to the firewall get starved of air,
Right.
right?
What is
So
it?
Right.
you get rich conditions in the back two cylinders, and they run like shit.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've heard.
I mean,
but it's still a
plus you
VQ.
got Tomai, dog.
It sounds like shit. Your car sounds better.
Yeah.
Your car sounds
Yeah.
way better. Like,
I mean, but in the canyons, like a high revving 6-cylinder, dude, that'd be great.
and this rolls back to, but this goes back to like, dude, if you put a long runner fast intake manifold and a cam, like
Mhm.
you can rev that thing to probably 8, maybe
Oh, sure.
8,300, and have a
Sure.
lot of fun and have a cool sounding car.
Mhm.
Which I still think that's the way you should go. If I'm being honest, I think a high rev cam and long intake and like full stainless headers.
What the fuck are you drinking?
He's
It's
drinking-
vodka.
Yeah, I knew. He was trying to. We were talking shit, so we stepped it up. Yeah, for sure. I support it.
Yeah,
support
Fucking
it.
I ran
Russians
a-
coming out in fucking Black Mamba over here.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
All right, but
I mean,
back to
on,
it.
on that whole thing.
Also,
Doing your
Pinky,
baby
right?
dick beers.
You saw the pinky, right? He had the pinky out.
He had the pinky
had the
out. When in
pinky out,
doubt.
bro.
When in
Pinky out.
doubt. When in doubt.
Oh
pinky out.
yeah. It's like,
Pinky
Did
out.
you, did you at least chill it?
got
I got
ice in it.
3 ice cubes, but
Okay,
being in the
okay,
garage
okay.
now, they're all melted.
How hot is it in there right now? You're a savage, bro. Why aren't you in the room? Is this? Did we make enough fun? Did we shame you enough about the lack of artwork in your room that you went to the garage?
It's what
Yes.
he needs. It's what he needs.
He needs it.
So I was like, I was trying to figure out lighting too, because like the lighting in my room was like dark as shit, but I have like a light like right in front
No,
of
the
me.
lighting's
Yeah.
good right now where you're at.
Yeah.
This is good. Okay, so
All right.
let's get back to the topic.
Okay.
What
Yeah. So the topic is auto versus manual. So I mean,
Oh,
I
wait,
guess
hold on. So you said you drive an S4.
I drive an
You said
S4.
You drive a 350Z, and that would be a stick shift, Alex.
Mhm.
Yeah. What would I
What
drive?
would you do?
If money was,
No, okay,
I'm just
okay, let's-
money
let's-
being
let's-
money
let's-
being an object, money
let's-
being an object.
let's-
But,
I mean, are we talking about cars we want?
yeah.
No.
Wait.
Let's talk about sub 60,000 and below.
Okay, so no, yeah. If you were
60K
were
and below.
buying a new, so
Timmy fucking spent like 80 grand on the
I
fucking
know,
S4.
fucking, he's
so-
out here.
Okay,
Timmy just
okay,
put his shit on the table like,
hold
You're batting
up,
above your
hold
average.
up,
He's batting
hold
above his
up.
average. I think.
MSRP is 62. Okay,
fuck
and
outta
you know I
here,
didn't pay
bro.
that.
You're like
that's with
20
like no
grand above
options,
everybody
no
in here.
leather.
He said 80.
You don't got like seat back massagers, no leather, plastic door panels.
No,
You're like,
I do. You guys don't.
Yeah.
No, he bought. And just to clarify, used is an option. Like used is totally an option. Right.
Hey,
okay.
yeah, my car uses 40 grand. You know, it's
Well, you
62
bought German,
brand new.
homie. They drop like a rock. That's just how it goes.
But I do have massaging
Facts,
seats. So
bro,
what's
facts.
up, STI owners?
Yeah, no, I know. If I
Hey, my value's still strong as hell, bro.
yeah,
Strong as hell.
if I was gonna spend sub 60 money on something that I wanted to drive every day that functionally worked for what I need. Let me think about that. That's actually really good. That's a tough question. Would I buy an auto or a manual? So there's a couple of options I have here, right? Like real talk. Used RS3s are out because they haven't dropped. Everybody knows what those things are. Like they don't come down.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I've been looking. They're still might as well be 60 grand, right?
100%. 100%.
And everybody knows why because it has a half of a Huracan engine in it. So it's like,
Yep.
right? Biggest bargain in performance. Period. Nobody gives a shit, right? Whatever. Let's get that out.
100%.
Let's get that out of the way. It's straight line performance anyway. Used Mero ZL1 is a strong contender, super strong contender.
Not a Z28.
Not as not as each one. I don't like Gen 5 Meros. I'd buy one. I'd buy one for a drift chassis if I could find a cheap SS. I don't care how many miles it has on it, but like for a daily, they're heavy. That
Bro.
Alpha platform compared to the Zeta platform, or which I can't remember which one's which. The 6th gen compared to the 5th gen. It's such
ZL ones.
it's such a that's a vet, but it's fine. Mero. I can't drive a vet every day. I have a child.
Oh,
But
come
the sixth gen compared to the fifth gen is such a huge leap in the right direction. It's like 300 pounds lighter. It handles way better. Like the stock SS like outperformed the 1LE of the fifth gen, right? And then you still have
Right.
the 1LEs. So I would probably go because I was looking on CarMax. You can buy like lightly used ZL1s for like 54 grand with like
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
sub 24,000 mile like really clean cars. Um,
Mhm.
I might go with the auto. Like I legit might go with the auto for a couple of reasons. 650 horsepower through a 6-speed on a daily basis is a little much
Yes.
through the
Right.
rear. 305s are
Right.
not. Like that's a little much, right? Like if I'm
Yeah.
just trying to take my kid to school, like I don't need to be tripping
I need a
about. Yeah.
I need a hook.
Right. Well, I don't need to be tripping about like I go for the fucking heel toe and I fuck it and I dump the clutch too quick and fucking bitch. You know, I don't need those problems, dude. I just need to, like,
Hold
on. He just
on.
wants
Yeah.
to see the dad
We're
roast
sending it.
out of the parking lot sideways.
dude, I test drove a regular 1LE and and Chris will attest to this because at first he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn the rev match on," and the first thing I did was turn the rev match off. I was just like,
Yeah.
driving his car.
I tapped the button for him. I'm like, here, I'll make it easier for you. He's like,
He's
nah,
like,
I don't need it.
He's like, nah,
Yeah, I got used to heel towing and rev matching my own shit. But I did it the first time I test drove one, and I broke the ass loose going around a corner by John Sullivan Chevrolet, and the dude and the salesman's like doing this, dude, and I'm like, bro, it's cool, I got it, like I'll catch it, it's all good. Um, and then just driving in my homie's old ZL1, like I know Chris has said that it. I don't know enough about it to say, but Chris, you were saying that like people hate on the A10 once they start building them.
Mhm.
If it was my daily, it's got 650 horsepower. Like I probably wouldn't do anything other than throw a full exhaust on it and like
Right.
maybe get a match set of springs and some different wheels, and I just push it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't really feel the need to do anything to it.
You're
But
not
yeah,
you're not gonna treat your A10 like I treat my S4. You're not gonna
I mean,
take
if we're,
those
I mean,
risks.
I'd. Here's the thing: is that I'd run canyons with it, but I'd ease into
I
it
mean,
really
yeah.
slow. I'd ease into it really. That's a fuckload. 650 horsepower
But I
is a
mean,
lot of
okay,
power.
That's a lot of
here's
power.
the thing. Like Rudy overheated his Evo at low speeds. Like
That's,
Rudy
I mean,
wasn't
it's an
keeping up.
Evo, and all everybody, oh,
It's
it's
an
an
Evo.
Evo. Like,
yeah, Evo's usually pissy about something. I mean, let's be honest about
dude,
it.
if it's an Evo, anything shy of a 10, they're bulletproof, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't even talk
Yeah.
shit.
Nine.
All the drivetrains are
Nine.
bulletproof. The engines are stupid, fucking overbuilt from the factory, right?
Yeah.
So like that.
Sorry, he's got a 10.
Yeah, had a 10.
Yeah.
He sold it. Shout out to all the 10 owners. This is probably a reason he doesn't have it anymore. But
Sorry.
My bad.
the Evo 10 is, in my opinion, the better looking Evo,
Mhm.
but the worst overall Evo. Like the
Yeah.
eight, the
Yeah,
8th, 9th, 7th.
100%.
The 8s,
100%.
let's just call it the ones we can actually get in the country. The 8s and 9s are better cars. Like
Yeah.
functionally, they're better
Right.
cars.
If you see a super fast video on YouTube, it's gonna be like an 8 or 9.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you just
you-
throw
Probably
you just
Evo.
throw big turbos and corn at them, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's go." You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah.
good.
Right? Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, just fucking let's run a 7. Who gives a shit, right? Like whatever.
Just
Um,
run a 7.
8 grand would do this shit. Fuck, I had my Wheaties this morning.
Yeah, like just buy. Listen, put some Hoosiers and a triple dick clutch with a slipper clutch on it, and some bunch of fucking fat ass turbos, some corn, and like we'll just get it done. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, before I talk too
Right,
much,
something.
I would say used A10 Mero ZL1 mainly because it actually handles. It has good power. I wouldn't feel the need to throw too much money at it, and I could still put my son in the back of it and drive it every day. So that's me.
Sure.
So
So,
so Timmy's dying on the hill of the S4. I got the Mero. Who's next? Who wants to go next?
well, kid said you said 350Z, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
If I could.
To be honest, I actually been looking at the Cadillac CTSVs
oh,
because they are coming down in price.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about
Drastically.
that. That's a great choice. That's a
And
great choice.
Was that the
Wait,
one that came
which-
with the LS9
It's
or LSA
essentially a
transmit
fucking
or motor?
it's a Corvette running damn gear
But-
with a sedan
But
chassis.
which
for the most part.
which year? Like the V1, the V2,
Yeah,
or the
which
V3?
year?
V3s are almost getting to that point where they're coming down to 60.
No.
Okay, well, but here's the whole point.
Yes.
Is that an automatic?
That's
you
an auto.
you can only get them with
Okay.
auto.
You can
Yeah,
get
I'm
Gen
out.
1 with I think only Gen 1 came with manual gearbox if I remember correctly because when I was working at
No,
Cadillac.
you can get Gen 2 with the not. So here's the thing, because the
No,
only
but
reason
didn't
that
Gen 1 was only a manual gearbox.
Gen 1 was only manual, Gen 2 was an
Correct.
option, Gen 3 there is no manual option.
Correct.
Yeah. It's the same A10. So it's literally a ZL1 drivetrain in a Cadillac CTS.
Oh,
What year was
okay.
the wagon? Which year was the
That
wagon?
was
'Cause
Gen 2.
wagon's
That
actually
was Gen 2.
pretty
Gen 2.
Gen
Yeah,
2.
because
Okay.
that's like the unicorn, right? Is
But I
the
mean,
the
if
6-speed
you-
CTSV
if
wagon? They
you
made like
think about
1,500
it-
of them.
But if you think about it,
Dude.
like as a daily driver, you get
Right.
the Cadillac luxury and comforts. It's a plush interior.
Yep.
You got the probably one of the baddest running gears you could get right now from them for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's
Tweaks
amazing.
here and there,
LT4?
you could really make it a solid Canyon actual car if you wanted to.
They do handle
Right.
ridiculously well for what they are.
They do.
Oh.
And for bang for your buck, like that's a lot of performance out of that car. And a couple quick tunes and tweaks here to suspension.
So, like,
Mhm.
when you say that they're coming down to 60, I'm assuming that's a relatively high mileage, like no carbon pack,
Yeah,
like no,
no.
yeah, okay, yeah.
I found like one that was like
Okay, weird real quick.
what was it? It was like 68 grand or
You're
something
fine
like
on our
that.
end, Chris, if you're tripping.
And
No, my battery's
like,
dying.
but no,
Oh,
like,
that's a problem.
It'd be a
Yeah.
Gen 2, which even at a Gen 2, I mean, again, it's the same.
That's an
Same
LSA,
premise,
so
like-
that's 550 horsepower. You have the
Right.
option to try and find a stick, which is still a great car. And an LSA, I mean, dude, I think the most power I've ever seen somebody run through a stock blower on an LSA was pushing 700. So, like,
Right. And relatively, I won't say inexpensive because it's going to be expensive, but
it's
for,
still be 50 grand.
for-
But I mean, like, you know,
right. But even then, for when you're talking about doing minor tweaks, like you said, like we talked about last time on the podcast, where the FA motor on a Subaru, right, really quickly financially, you can get good, decent power, but it's got that ceiling, right? I feel like do you have that same option with the CTSV? But there really isn't a ceiling for that, right?
no, it's an
Because
LS block. Like, they're
it's
super.
an LS block.
Yeah.
Like it you could run some power through that shit if you wanted to. But
People
I mean,
underestimate how cheap like cam swap. Like, okay, I say
Right.
cheap. Let's keep it real. Like, if you're modifying cars, $2,000 is cheap. Like, you just have to come to terms with that, right? So the
Right.
fact
Right.
that you can do a cam, you know, a cam job on a Ford, it's a quad cam job. Like on a Coyote, like that's a right. Like that's a huge undertaking. Financial. It's not huge, but it's a lot of money. It's more money than doing an LS cam swap, like for sure.
Right.
And that just goes down to the beauty of the LS as what it is. It's small, it's light, it's stupid, it's running on 1950s technology. You know what I mean? Like, and it works. But no, I think that's a great car. I think that's a
and to me to as a daily my situation right now, a manual gearbox or an automatic doesn't matter to me. I live 5 miles from work.
right.
I can commute 5 miles. But if I was like Tim, it'd be an automatic all day long. I don't
Yeah.
want to sit in traffic and push a clutch in, driving 40 miles plus to one way to go back and forth to work. There's no way.
Right.
Can we pause real quick?
Like-
Can we just pause real quick? I just want to point out
Yeah.
that kid is in his garage with his Marijuana, a $8,000 suspension wheel and tire setup, with his 69 Elko to his left, and his fucking R1 that he has. That he has his laptop sitting
Okay,
on
wait. We're normal. We're normal. We're normal people here. We're normal.
You're really messing with our demographic right now.
Well,
dude.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. Chris has one focus in his vehicles. We all have vehicle focus, but like my game room, that's another focus that I could spend on an R1.
That's
and
fair. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sitting in front of. I mean, we're both sitting in front of dual monitor setups right now. Right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you know.
Okay, hold on.
I-
I'm sitting in front of a monitor setup that can't handle the graphics card for Call of Duty that I bought on my PC.
Exactly. So no, to Mike's point, and Mike and I both have kids. Mike and I both have kids, right? So it's like a whole other. I got hit.
These are my wives. These are
Yeah,
all my
I
wives.
got hit with the Rona unemployment, so like we're all on different levels. But kids definitely just Kid also had a super fancy photo shoot this morning.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
officially the poster girl for Brixton Wheels. All of a sudden, all of a sudden,
You know, I'm not famous. This
the
thing's
car is
famous.
famous. The car is better looking anyway, so it's fine. No,
Yeah.
but that spot was tight.
Jealous.
We need to roll out there and go shoot. And there's a spot.
I'm not. I'm not gonna say it on here, but we should go. It's about an hour out.
No,
That's not
but so
Yeah.
Vallejo. So if we go out to that area,
Mhm.
I believe it's on the way back. Fairfield's on the way back, and I know
Right.
Yes.
a super sick little tap house in Fairfield that has. And I know the owner. He's chill, super chill. He does half
Mhm.
kegs and he rotates them 3 times a week. So it's like a constantly rotating beer menu, and his food menu is only like 6 items long, but it's a burger, which is amazing.
What's the
A
burger sounds
chicken,
so good?
yeah, chicken sandwich, mac and cheese, fries, and then on Sundays he does a Luther burger, which is a cheeseburger with Krispy Kreme donuts as the buns.
Uh,
Dude, yeah,
oh.
no, and it's
Look at Mike's
Oh.
face.
Yeah.
My heart's like having a thingy right now. It's
Yeah.
like-
No, but it's he was all about like I want a short food menu, but I want it super consistent. I want it perfect every single time. And my wife and I used to go there all the time when we lived out that way. Never had a bad meal ever. Place
Wow.
is
Dude,
awesome,
that's
and it's
a-
super
Okay.
affordable. So we should do that.
Yeah.
So while we're on this topic, Pliny the Elder, is it overrated?
No.
No.
What?
I mean, it's just to me, it's just a normal beer.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
It's
Ooh.
not smooth enough for how it should be, but
It's too much hype for what it is. I
I
think.
didn't hear what did you say? I didn't hear.
Pliny
What
the Elder is
Uh,
overhyped, and I don't know if you've ever had it, but
From Russian River.
I don't know if I've ever had it, to be honest with you.
I've never waited in line for it. My brother-in-law got a bottle, and I've tried it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna preface this answer to that question
Uh-huh.
with, I have had quite a few IPAs, like legit IPAs.
Sure.
I just came back from Oregon last week, which is like the home of the IPA, right?
The Mecca.
The mecca of IPAs. I drank a bunch of beers while I was out there.
Mhm.
I like Cali beer better, dude. Like I do.
Dude, like-
Yeah. No, listen. They do the piney thing almost to a fault. Like even their because they're making hazies now, right? Like hazies are like a New England thing or whatever, right?
Right.
Because
right.
of the access to hops and all other shit, whatever. But like if you go to Moonraker or Knee Deep
Mhm.
or a Vision or whatever, the thing that's great about the hazies from down here is that it's all the flavor that you love from like a Hefeweizen, but without the super heavy like bready feel, right? Like you can sit there and you
Sure.
can drink them, and they don't make you feel like a giant pile of human garbage, right?
It's like
Right. But if you get them from Oregon, and I tried like Silver Moon, and I tried Crux,
Okay,
and
Timmy.
I tried a bunch of different shit,
right.
and they're
one,
so into this like piney
Go
thing.
get another one.
Go get another beer, Timothy.
Go get another
Go
beer,
on.
Timothy.
You're
yeah.
nobody's
yeah,
talking to you
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's so much pine. They feel thin flavor wise. Like they feel like they don't have like so yeah. I think it's overrated. I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's
yeah.
worth. I don't think it's worth the wait. I don't think it's worth
It's
the money.
great marketing. It's great marketing.
Oh, for
like
sure. For sure.
we release a beer like certain times a year in limited quantities. I'm gonna wait in line for that beer, and then you try
we
it.
were
It's
just
like,
talking about racing, right?
right?
My
yeah.
whole problem
Yeah.
with that is like I'm not gonna go wait in line for something like that. Like I just
No.
as great as something could be, like I'm not gonna wait fucking 4 hours in line to go get this limited quantity of beer for or whatever for what.
No.
Yeah.
Especially when
Like-
it's something like an IPA, which is like the whole point of making IPAs is that you can churn them quick, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you're
So-
just not doing it because you want it to be exclusive. Like that's it. Like you could make as
Right.
much of this shit as you wanted. You just decided you
Correct.
don't want to do it.
exactly. It's like by the time
Okay.
you go,
They're the off-white sneaker. They're off-white Nike blue Air Forces of fucking beer. Is all that is.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Okay,
Fact.
okay. But back to transmissions.
Oh yeah,
No, let's start. Yeah, let's
Okay.
actually get back into the point, right?
right,
Well, I
right.
think okay, no, but now that we've
So,
all
but
determined what we would buy,
I mean, okay,
what
my whole point on the conversation was like, I bought my Audi, and my Audi's got a lot of power, and it's a lot of fun, and it's automatic, and it's fucking awesome, and it's really fun to drive. But at the same time, I built my Subaru, and I love driving the fact that it's a manual Subaru. And like me and Mike saw on Saturday, somebody traded in like a '07 Cayman S and a manual, and it's like that would be the funnest type of car to drive. Do you drive the fun manual, or do you drive the reliable, legitimate, cool automatic?
So I've noticed this. Like when I was younger, driving a manual, it was like that was the shit. But as I'm older, it's like after commuting 38 miles, 48 miles to work and back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an automatic. Like honestly, you're sitting like my whole premise is I'm sitting in traffic. Like what 85% of the time, I
I
actually
mean, if
enjoy
you
it.
wanted to come
Right?
on time to
So
work,
it's like,
we could carpool.
so it's like,
point.
so it's like, yeah, it's like I'm sitting in traffic most of the time. But like when I hit the canyons, I'm like, sure, like finger bangs would be cool. Like I mean, like you finger bang down to second, third, and finger bang up to
can we
like or
stop
down
using
to
finger bang as much because I feel like we're gonna get
what?
we're
But
It's
okay,
never
finger
but
bang
this.
like
across.
if you think about that, like the how far the automatic transmission has come from when you
Yes,
originally started with automatic transmissions, right? There's
Yeah.
Right.
clean,
planetaries and shit. Like
clunky,
Right.
just ratchety. Nobody ever wanted an automatic, but
unless you
everybody
were
could
drag
drive.
racing.
Unless you're driving,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody could drive one, right? And now, like Chris was touching, like when I was in my early 20s and 34 now, like it was the cool thing to have the manual. You could drive the manual. You could really like
It's a
handle the
badge of
Right.
manual
pride,
box.
right? Like I can
Right,
rock a stick.
yeah, I learned on a farm
1%.
truck in the middle of some like farm in Loomis. That's some job I did when I was a young kid. Like that's how I learned to drive a stick shift. But like
Right.
nowadays, like it's becoming more convenient to like automatics have gone from this piece of shit essentially to like now like what we work with the PDK transmission, right? You take that transmission. They took two gearboxes and basically put them together, and it's the quickest, easiest gearbox to ever run in your life. Like you literally
Yeah.
just and
I
like
got
you're
to drive a
like
PDK for like 2 minutes when Rover had that 911 turbo they were trying to sell,
yeah
and I was like this thing is dumb. There's no reason that anybody should be able to buy this car with just money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was a convertible. It's like you're telling me I can do 200 miles an hour with the top down and like my
yeah
butt
Right.
getting cool. Like, this is
yeah.
stupid. I don't care how rich you are. It's not going to stop you from killing yourself in
Well,
this
that yeah,
in
just
this
because you
thing.
can buy it doesn't mean you can drive it for
Right.
one.
And I mean,
But
hello,
anyways,
we
but
all
like
remember what happened when the Hellcat came out. Anyway, back to Mike.
yeah. uh, like to Tim's point, right? Like you look at Tim's car. Tim's automatic gearbox 10 years ago didn't exist.
Right.
Now that
Right.
it does, now people want that gearbox because when I want to go play with it, I want to go have fun, I want to go to Mosquito Ridge, I want to go the back roads, I can kick it over to manual and I can sit there and play with paddles all day long and control the car. But then when I'm in traffic, kick it over to drive and I just sit there and I cruise down the
Right.
road and I don't
Right.
have to worry about
It's
clutch
so
and all
easy.
that.
Yeah.
Like I
I
think, and
think
that's why it's more acceptable now that people don't know how to drive manual gearboxes because I don't need to. Every car comes in an automatic. Every car comes with these cool features on the stuff that
launch
we never
control and all
had,
that
right?
stuff. Yeah.
10,
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Well, and I think too, like,
Well.
and this is really funny coming from like a Subaru owner, but I
Right.
think the merit of driving a stick
Mm.
completely depends on the feel of the gearbox itself. Everybody that's
Oh
ever owned
yeah.
an STI knows they shift like shit. They do. They're so unrefined. Half the time you feel like you're gonna blow the synchro shifting it into gear, right? Because they're just super rough. But it's a rally car, right? So the boost comes on late and it feels like it's gonna kill you. The gearbox is rough, like all this other shit, right? That's just like
Yeah, I
kind
just
of
let it go. I was like, fuck it.
bam, right? You just it's not going in, push it harder, right? Like it's just like
Just shove it. Just
and it's to
bam.
the point where like I'm so used to driving STI transmissions that when I drove Chris's car, I was like, oh, this is weird. Like everything's smooth, like it feels
I
right.
feel like every manual car needs a Tremec. Those Tremec, because they've been around for fucking years.
Tremec and ZF make the best. Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
unless you're talking about like the old what's the transmission everybody's using instead of the CDO? Oh, the Getrag, right? The ones that are like the Z3s
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like the new like
Right.
case swap training because the transmission's this big and all that shit, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
super
yeah.
cheap. So
Little
it's like,
pumpkin.
yeah, it's the old Tremex, the Getrags, and the ZFs. They're super clean, right? Subaru's been making their own transmissions for years, and they've been garbage forever, but they're pretty stout. Like you can put a lot of power through them. You can put a lot of power through a Subaru transmission.
Yeah.
The drivetrain
Yeah, through an STI transmission. Okay,
for
let
the
me
for the
correct you
remainder
there.
of the podcast ever into the future ad nauseum, when I talk about a Subaru transmission, I'm talking about an STI transmission. Just so you know.
I'm just making sure because 90% of Subaru owners are WRX
No
owners,
cable
not
shifting
STI
bullshit,
owners.
bro. Like we're talking about full on mechanical
We're
linkage.
talking about
Like
6 speeds here, bro.
yeah, we're talking about
6
real
speed.
fucking.
Real shit.
I'm just saying, you guys have to agree with me. Like 90% of them own WRXs,
That's
and
true.
then 10%
Yeah.
own STIs.
Hey, this is a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
segue into the remaining of the episode, which is supposed to be form over function. The amount. So if you take a look on Instagram right now, and if you look up wide body Subarus, a disproportionate amount of them are WRXs,
Ah,
right? With really expensive body kits. Like super
Yeah.
super expensive body, like what's the Varus one? That's the kit, right? The Varus kit. It's like a $7,000 wide body kit,
Okay, so
almost
the whole premise of
exclusively
going,
on WRXs. I don't think I've ever.
but
Go ahead.
the whole premise of going wide body is, like have a wider wheelbase, right? So you'd be able to like outperform like what you had before, like your track width. You're riding your track width, right? With a wide body kit.
Right, but like if you're only doing it with wheel, all you're doing is
Yeah.
putting more stress on your wheel bearings.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The proper way to widen the wheelbase of a car is to widen all the control arms and the axles, and
Right.
still run. If you want to run a wider contact patch, but you run it deeper into the wheel, not push the wheel out in order to with a fuckload of negative
And
offset.
I feel like this is gonna stab a lot of people like in the fucking kidney, but like you're not supposed to have you're the whole premise of a wheel is you're not supposed to have spacers. Like you're supposed to figure out your offsets, your sizes.
I'm guilty, bro. I'm guilty.
Go
No,
on the
I'm not.
backside. Go on the
But you have
backside. Get that knife out of Alex real quick for me, bro.
No,
Knife
let
out
me.
real quick.
Well-
Wait. Let me before Chris continues murdering me in public. I have 20 mil spacers on stock 19-inch wheels. The factory 19 wheels were made by Enki. It's a solid wheel. And I just didn't want the amount of gap. I'm not running a fucking 2-inch machine wheel spacer. Like I don't have some crazy shit going. But it's like here, like just to before I'll let you continue a second. But like this is where shit gets a little fucky, because if you go to a drift event, if you go to professional drifting, you go to Formula D, and if you go look at
Right.
well, not this season now, but like last season, Frederick Osbo, right, was running this crazy rear-wheel drive converted Corolla, right?
Right.
Blowing engines, not exaggerating, blowing engines every event, blowing little Corolla engines with giant turbos and nitro strapped to them, and he was literally blowing 2 to 3 inches an event. It was the biggest joke in Formula D. Like it was like, here's the pile of Frederick Osbo's old race engines. Like that was what it was like. Toyota just keeps throwing at him. He had an 1.75-inch machined aluminum wheel spacer.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a thing.
Huh.
So like there's a way to do it properly. There is a way to
Uh-huh.
do it properly, but at the same time, to your point, why are you going to dump all this money into a body kit, right, when you're not functionally improving the performance of your vehicle because you're just
Right.
like running
You
the
just push
shit
the
out of
wheels
a.
out.
But the other thing to keep in mind is Frederick Osbo is running built axles, built pumpkins, built everything, right? Like it's a $150,000 race car, right?
It's a real
That's why you can handle wheel spacers.
Exactly. Why you gonna do me like that, cousin? But you know what I'm saying? Like he's not some jackwagon with a $27,000 base WRX and a $7,000 body kit with $4,000 wheels because he wants to be a stance boy, right? Like there's a difference here. Anyway,
But I feel like, but I feel like that, like, just back to your point, just real quick. Like, I feel like that's that's the label, right? That's like right now you look at anything like our generation cars, right? Alex and I got a 15, he's got a 19. Anything this generation, you look at anybody, they want wide body kits, they want to kick these wheels out, they want to put
Hmm.
this massive wings on the back of them, and like that is everybody's stance on it. Like you don't see
Oh yeah,
anybody doing anything else unique, and it goes back
well,
to the point where it is a stance boy
yeah,
wanna be not real race car shit. Like I want to be able to drive my car. There's no way I could put a wide body kit on it and not do what Alex was just talking about. Extend the stuff, make it a real race car. Like
I agree.
I can't like I was watching a video earlier on YouTube and it was this beautiful 2019 STI yellow like all done up and I'm looking at it going like that's wrong. That's wrong.
Doesn't
Like
function. Doesn't
you should
function. Doesn't.
really like that
Yeah,
doesn't function. Like, but then that's the guys that form over function,
I'm
right?
gonna
That's
hit
what
the
we're
head.
talking
Keep
about.
going.
yeah,
Like that's what the whole premise is about. We are functionality guys versus this formula that these guys come up with, where you see the Hondas and the tires are tucked in like freaking like this, and they're like rolling
camera
down the
gang.
road, and like you need like every 100 miles you need a new set of tires. You're like, bro, like what? Really? Like,
Right.
come on.
Well, it's generational too, right? So like our generation, like yeah, I mean, yeah, our generation, we were what? We're pulling fenders. Like we pulled fenders to have a wide body. Like we
Yeah.
weren't cutting fenders. We were actually like shit sticking something under there, pulled the fender
My
out,
STI,
and then
my
making
STI
sure we
was
rolled the fender on the
yeah,
inside, right?
yeah, 100%.
just to get perfect fitment. It's just I feel like coming from our generation again, I feel like wide body is cheating. Like we had to work for our shit.
You do, right? Well, and like, and I think it trickles down for generations, right? People like my dad always taught me to like try something first. If you screw it up, then call somebody, right? I had a
Right.
pipe burst in my first house. I freaking cut a hole in the wall, pulled the pipe out, put a new pipe in, soldered it all in. Like my dad just taught me to do that, be adventurous, right? And I feel like that was passed down to generation to generation generation. Like, and you do get kids now more now than ever. Look on YouTube. Look how many kids now are I say kids, guys younger than us that are
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
literally. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
they've rented a 5,000 square foot workshop, and they're in there cutting cars up, putting body kits on them, wrapping them themselves, building 600, 800 horsepower motors. It's just like they're
I
being
respect the build.
adventurous.
Yeah.
Like they're not afraid to try it, blow it up, fail, try it again, and
Who are
do
we
that
talking about
stuff.
specifically right now? Sorry, I missed it.
So we're talking about generationally wise, like how our generation we grew up on like we pulled fenders. We pulled fenders to mimic a wide body
Yeah,
kit. And we
yeah,
rolled the fuck out of the fenders just to
yeah.
give it a better stance look. But now kids these days, they're actually going
Just
out fucking with
fucking
the
chop
saw.
it.
Just fucking they chop the whole fender, chop the whole
Yeah,
quarter
they
panel,
go
and
to
it's
fucking Harbor Freight and buy a rotary wheel, and they're
going to
Let's
town,
cut
right,
going
but
to
let's
fucking town.
apart.
let's no, that's a really good point. But let's dig into that. I have a little
Yeah,
bit of experience in body work in working for Tesla at the design studio when
my
I was
bad.
younger, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do things,
Correct.
and that includes wide body kits. And I feel like we all have worked around really nice shit. You guys work around Porsches, which like nobody can argue how nice Porsches are, right? Like they're fucking Porsches, bro. Whatever, right? I worked around
Yeah,
Rovers, whatever. Um, there's things you look at, like do the body lines match up? Like does this flow together? How does the body work look? I would
right.
say that um, a large majority of these, not the Varus kits, because like one, the Varus kits are incredibly complete and they're pretty hard to fuck up. Like, even if you fuck up cutting the quarter, like the panel is so large that you'll never see it. And it'll still look
Right.
clean as long as you match it right when you put it on, right? The same thing with like
Sure.
the old Evo 8 9 Varus kits, right? The panels are just these big giant panels, and as long as you line the quarter up right, then the door section kind of lines itself up and you can keep the gap pretty. It's designed to look right.
Right.
But what's the Mountain Rider, right? That's like the big wide body for the V8 chassis is the Mountain Rider kit. All of them look bad. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. They look bad. Every single one of them. The wheel fitment's always off. Nobody takes the time to put the kit on and measure it to make sure that it sits flush in the way. Like the whole point of like if you're gonna spend all that time, all that
What's the rule
money,
of thumb?
it's
What was the rule of thumb? It was like measure once, cut once.
yeah.
Or no, measure twice,
No,
cut
you
once.
don't
No,
measure
Right?
and
it's
then you
cut
cut
it,
one.
fucking measure
Yeah,
it, buy the
cut it.
wheels before you've seen anything, slap it on, get a shitty paint job, roll it to the show, everybody gives you
Oh,
proud. Yeah, right.
uh,
Shoot it from 30 feet away and nobody can notice. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's a SEMA bill, bro.
Yeah, but
yeah.
like the only people I think that have ever like put in a mountain rider kit on and had it be really nice was Throttle. And I don't know if anybody
Yeah,
saw they did that '08 wagon wide body.
Okay, that
the
wagon
blue
Yeah,
was
one.
yeah, that blue one. But even when they went to the paint shop, they were talking all this. They're like, "Oh, this part doesn't really fit that great. This part didn't really fit that great. This section had to be massaged. We did this section completely different than the way they did it, right? Like we
right.
decided to." But there's a reason that that kit is only like $2,500. Like if you're
Yeah,
doing a
I mean,
full, yeah,
you're,
that's the cleanest mountain rider kit I've ever seen. Oh, that's it. We will turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it. That's how you lose. Not that we're gonna get monetized in our second episode, but that's how you lose monetization.
I'm trying to find this picture.
Yeah, that's a
This
good
car.
picture. Yeah, that's it. No, exactly. And the biggest issue is like right behind the front wheel on the fender. Right, that's where it always kind of looks shitty. It
that
like
looks aggressive. That
you're
looks
such
so
a
fucking
good
aggressive.
woman. I don't
What?
deserve you.
No, like I mean,
I
they
know.
literally, I mean, they built the hell out of that car. I mean,
Well,
they
even that
literally did
lip,
it.
like that front lip that's on that car, that was a prototype because it's a widened factory look. It's an OEM style lip that's widened 6 inches or some shit to
That
fit.
looks. That looks.
No, it's
I like
perfect.
it.
It's
I
per,
like it.
but
Yeah.
that's $15,000 in body work or some crazy shit like that, right? But that's
Yeah.
what it takes. Like that is what it takes. There's a reason why like Liberty Walk body kits, Rocket Bunny body kits are 16 grand,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's because they're complete
Yeah.
and they're proper, and as long as you have half of a fucking brain, you can line them up properly. But like, I can't tell you how many 240s and shit I've seen with over fenders where it's like they didn't weld the tabs back up to the body. They didn't seam seal it. There's dirt and tire and all this shit inside the quarter. Like, you know, they're just like
You have the fucking the over fender just flapping in the wind.
yeah, it's just straight
Scotty's
machine self
GTI, bro.
tappers, right? Like they're just not.
Scotty's GTI. Scotty's
Oh
GTI,
Oh
bro.
man,
no! Someone explain it. Someone explain it.
So our fellow or ex coworker, his name is Scotty. Well, we won't say his full name. Had
No,
I'm
bring
gonna
up his-
2000
bring up his Instagram. Bring up his. Let's shame him. Bring up his Instagram. Let's
Oh,
do
you
it.
want to shame him?
Shame him.
We're
Fuck it.
shaming. We're shaming.
Do it. I don't care.
alright.
I've got enough fucking in my system right now. I don't care anymore.
Fuck, we're a bunch of drunk assholes. We're
Let it ride.
uh,
So good old Scotty had this.
he bought it. Okay, so wait. He bought a new one.
He
bought a
did
new
buy. We will give
He
him
bought a
credit.
new one.
He bought a new one, and I swear, if he does the same thing to this car, we will have a very big blowout.
The worst part.
Um,
The worst part for him was that Kyle's car is parked in the same parking lot.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right. So you
yeah.
have
Frank
like, hey, this is
Scotty,
what a clean GTI looks like, and then this is your car.
one.
our
Yeah.
friend Scotty unfortunately decided to do these little fender flares.
I'm gonna
right
I'm
here.
gonna widen this up real quick. Oh.
Yeah. And I feel bad for the car. I mean, yeah,
It's so ugly.
It was so like they
Good
were
from far,
they
far from
were,
good.
They were gloss black fender flares. He
Then-
screwed wood screws into it and stuff. Just
Didn't he
like
rattle
not-
can them red at one point? Like he rattle canned
Yes.
the fender. Yeah. And I
Yes.
remember, first of all, he's got dumb camber out back, just like super gross.
Like this is a constant theme with this car.
Damn, homie, you ain't gotta do him like that.
I love you,
You either,
Scotty. I
man.
love you. Look, Chris Kidd even
No,
put R.I.P. right there.
Okay, so
R.I.P.
if okay, so anyone who listens to this podcast, this would be the epitome of the things you should not do to your car. In the sense,
Why you
like,
gotta highlight the wheel spacers? What? No, that's not. Is that what that is? No.
Yeah.
He lifted his Tiguan. He lifted his
oh,
Tiguan.
he lived.
Oh, I don't mind lifting a Tiguan. I'm here for lifting a Tiguan.
So this is what the end result of that car was before.
Okay,
he
well,
sold
when was his post? Because 11 weeks ago. So he's fucked this thing up way worse than that since that photo was taken.
it. Oh yeah,
Well,
no, the motor's been
yeah.
rebuilt. He's done all kinds of different
So,
things to that car.
I remember I walked up on that car one day, and you could see a visible gap between the edge of the over fender, and the body. Like I could
Yeah.
see through it, and what I
Oh yeah,
saw through it, when you do a over fender, right? You cut the outer skin, you leave the
right.
inner skin, you do 1 inch pie cuts on the inner skin, you hammer it up, you weld it and cut the excess off, and then you seam seal it, right? So that everything's nice and closed, everything's nice. He
Yeah, that
did
was
like
done.
1/2 inch fucking shredder pie cuts, hammered them up, left it there, screwed the over fender over it, and it was just like had the wheels
So
like straight demon cambered in the back. The thing sounded
yeah,
horrible, like it sounded terrible, and I was just
so
like,
basically, it was bad to the point where you could literally you open his fender. Like if you look at his fender, you'd be able to send into you could be able to look into his quarter panel, and there was
yes,
rust inside of his quarter
yes, because he
panel.
didn't seal it.
Like
Yeah,
there's not. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's so bad. That's not what you're supposed to do. Like anybody was supposed to
By
do
the
it
way,
right the first
Scotty,
time.
we love you, brother.
Do
Stop modifying cars like this, bro. You're giving us a bad name.
Do a
You're
better
giving us
job.
a bad name
Do a
right now, bro.
better.
Stop
Please
modifying
do a
cars
better
like
job.
this.
And
Do a
that
better
well, this is
job.
like
right.
that's something I'd expect out of someone coming out of high school. But Scotty had a job.
So, but here's a question. Here's a question. Is there a point in time where is there a type of vehicle where building it purely for form is acceptable? Now I know my opinion on this, but what do you guys think? I'll say my opinion last.
So
Like a
state that question
like a
again.
So
specific
is so
car
no,
or
just
like
like is there a style where it's like obviously we all have an issue with like super high performance cars being going full form, right? Like it seems like it's against the grain of what the car is supposed to be. And so is that the
Correct.
biggest thing? Is it just like does it depend on the platform? Are you
This is gonna,
are you fully in one camp over the other no matter what the platform is, or where do you stand on it?
this isn't gonna be like a full like taboo. I feel like because it's so coveted in the car community, but RWB kits. It's
Right.
like, I mean, come on. They look aesthetically great. They're
Okay, I'd
aesthetically
get an
pleasing.
RWB and I would still track my 911.
But a majority, I feel like, don't. They're just Instagram
No,
queens, right?
100%. It's a
So, like,
collector's piece.
it's a collector. Okay, okay. In the collector sense, I get it. It's a collector's item. It's one of a kind, and you should know. But you should hold on to it for as long as you can. It's just realistically, you're butchering the 911 and then sticking a fucking body kit on it, which I love, by the way. It looks great.
Oh,
It's just,
100%.
but at the same time, it's like once you take that step that turns into a forever car. You have to hold on that car forever. Like with
And
911s, the value is constantly going up like every day.
I
But once you
think
do that, like,
I think well here's the
right?
thing is that I think that there's probably a really big market for RWBs secondhand, like 964s. Like I think there's
Oh,
enough.
sure.
I'm sure there's enough people that want a 964 purely for the idea to put an RWB kit on it, right? So if you have that already
Yeah.
done, then like you have a market to sell that vehicle to. But like
Sure.
I don't think that the kit in and of itself ruins the vehicle.
Well, I don't think that car had enough power to support that wide of track with, right? You have people end up
No.
supercharging those things, right?
Yeah, they
I
put
think
turbos, they do all types of shit on them.
Yeah. So
Or
like,
like
if you're
you're like
just,
Rutledge Wood and you fucking shove an LS3 in the back of a 964.
so like
I mean,
one,
if there's a
one that
mean,
we had the one come to work, and it was all show no go.
right?
Most of them will be, yeah.
Most of them
are,
are, yeah.
and I think that's attributing to what Chris's point is that is a form car. That is not a function car. A function car would be, yeah, you've done this to the widen the body, but let's kick the suspension out. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's build a motor. Let's put a hot turbo
Yeah.
on it. Let's
Well, or
you know,
even
Exactly.
or even like
Exactly.
not even that. Like even if so, there's
What
like
justifies going wide?
well, there's like
Like,
there's
Right.
like slow car fast, and then there's fast car fast, right? And like I would
True.
argue, slow car fast is always better than fast car fast, right? Because you can no, you can full throttle it, hammer down. You're not gonna kill yourself. You can have a
A
bunch of
Miata.
fun.
Miata.
A Miata,
Of
a
Miata is a
Fiesta
great
ST,
testament to
an
it.
STI. Let's keep it real. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What?
I got 311 wheel, bro. I ain't winning no races. Like, let's fucking keep it real, dog. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's fun. It's manageable. You get the feel. Like my Fiesta ST, when I had a Fiesta ST, is still one of the favorite cars. My favorite cars I've ever had because I was like beating the shit out of that thing, constantly like driving to work. You know what I mean? Because like you're never gonna get
Civic
Flames.
SI, baby.
yeah,
Civic SI
you're
got
never
driven the
gonna get a
shit
speeding
out of.
ticket. You're never gonna get a speeding ticket. You get to like whip the shit out of it.
It's cool, Chris. We're on a different level than them.
Okay,
Stop.
no, go. So
No, stop trying.
inside,
First of
I'm a
all,
Honda guy.
first
I'm
first
a
of
Honda
all,
guy inside.
okay.
Like,
First of all, Timmy, you have a lease. Don't come at me with that
Yeah,
shit.
shut up. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me, bro.
The-
Jimmy,
I was
no.
trying not to. I tried to catch
Don't at
myself.
me, bro.
I tried to. Fuck, dude. God damn it.
Okay, so honestly, if we did this whole thing and our budget was what, like 30 grand, what, EG or EK hatch or EG hatch,
Any
we do?
Honda, period. You can do an RSX
Yeah,
for
any Honda
30
period.
grand.
B19 swap back in the day, so that shit like revs the fucking moon. Engine's sticking out like halfway out of the hood. You just cut like a square port in it.
No,
If we
that's
were
it.
in
You're talking about
Florida,
the V6. You're talking about that J20.
oh, the V6,
Yeah,
the
the
J. If we
J whatever that was. Yeah, it was like the Honda
J,
Odyssey fucking
yeah,
motor. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. If we J swapped our shit and if we lived in Florida, I'd do that. Like honestly,
I'm with it.
that'd be fun. That'd be a fun car.
No,
Like
there's a
it'd
lot
be
to
a
be
Mad,
said for stupid, ignorant shit, right? Like it's just
it'd be a Mad Max car. Honestly.
yeah, yeah. I think the biggest thing for me is like personally is that I some cars were like never gonna be high performance cars.
Right.
Some cars were never gonna be great. Like I love VIP cars, which is like
Oh yeah.
those are
Okay.
super divisive, right? Like dumb fucking camber and like I don't like the super JDM demon camber ones. Like I think that's a little much where like you're running on this much tire patch on a
Right.
fucking 12-inch wheel. But
What I never understood about the VIP cars were the curtains they have on the windshield, like on the windows.
so it's supposed to so the whole thing about VIP cars was that they were pushed by Yakuza, right? So they were
Oh,
big body Mercedes, big body Lexus, big body Toyotas. So you had curtains so that nobody could see where you were. Nobody could see who you are. It was
VIP,
supposed to
baby.
be ultra luxury, but still like sort of so like original VIP cars were not as crazy as they are now, right? Like VIP cars have become over time what lowriders were in American car culture, which is why if you go to Japan now, there's actually a huge like vintage American lowrider culture. There's a bunch of
Yep.
dudes pushing
oh
like yeah,
shit!
no, there's a bunch of dude pushing imported 6.4 Impalas and shit like on
Sick. Okay.
hydros with 13-inch Daytons in the whole 9 yards, right? So
Fuck yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, I'm with the shit. I'm not even mad, but that was kind of the thing, right? So that was the whole point, and then it just the normal car culture picked it up, and then it got crazier and crazier and crazier and lower and lower and lower, and running static versus like a lot of guys won't run bags. It's not VIP unless it's static, which means you're this far off the ground, scraping, ripping bumpers off all over the place. But like you look at dudes like going back to Elvis, he had his LS400. It was white. The body was full metal wide body, perfect stance on bags. Everything was
You did
tits.
it
Like
right.
that. Yeah, it's sick. Like I'm with it.
Yeah.
I would push that as a daily. Like I would push an automatic, stanced out LS400 to work every single day. I don't care.
Sure.
Like it's sick.
Sure.
Sounds like my brother.
Okay,
Your
Timmy's brother's car is fucking.
What does your brother
It's
have?
it's dope. It's
He has
Oh,
two
wait.
like
Oh,
99 LS400s. His old one used to be on GTR 35 wheels, and it's currently on some CCI wheels that look really clean. But he's got it cambered to a nasty level. But
What's his
he's in
Instagram?
Hella Drew.
I want to see it. No, I definitely want to see
uh,
it. I'm with it. No, but I think that for me, function
12.
versus form is like.
Yeah, that's his car.
Let me see this.
There you go, Alex.
Ooh, yep.
wet, fucking wet.
I support the shit out of that. That's
It's
tight.
wet. Like, his car's wet.
If
Like
you keep going down, you'll see it with GTR wheels eventually.
So that's not even that bad. camber wise. Like that's
No, it's not bad.
Timmy's calling out his brother right now.
yeah. He like doesn't want to flame him too hard right now. You know
I like
He's
to
holding back.
drive.
that thing's clean, dude.
I know it looks really good. Go, scroll faster. Scroll faster. Eh, Where the yeah, that's them. That's the R35
That
wheels.
didn't even look bad. I mean, it
No,
didn't
that
look.
I really liked it a lot on the R35 wheels. I think that looked really
I
good.
would. I mean, I'm with him in the sense that like I wouldn't have like stayed on that forever, but like as an interim wheel setup, like you got to push that for 6 to 7 months while you wait for your custom 3-piece setup to roll up. Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm with it. But no, I think
Okay, so
no. Go ahead.
if you could go okay, so going outside of the normal guy thing, if you had a budget for 3-piece wheels, what would your specs be?
Oh fuck, dude, that you're. This is
Ask me
such.
that.
This is such a
This is
rabbit hole.
this is
This is
this
such
is
a.
Yeah.
form. This is like form over function. This is like a great because you both have STIs, like the most recent version of STI 15 versus 19. Like, what would your guys' custom setups be? Because you literally have plays on offset, barrel width, and fucking and colors too,
Yeah.
which is
No.
great.
So okay.
So okay. So everyone's seen our cars on the first episode, right? So you have
Well,
a
at least
black.
no. Well, I don't know.
Alex has
I
a
don't know if
black
they've ever
STI.
seen them. I don't think we ever actually posted them. I don't think we actually showed them. So
Let's-
if you want me to go first, like, why don't you go to the night.sti one, the car one? Yeah.
Oh,
So that's my car. Um. So I have 4 sets of wheels that I've always, 3 that I've always wanted, and then one that I've
Mhm.
recently decided that I really, really want. I've always wanted a set of work equipped fives because they're amazing. I think it's a perfect wheel. It's a 5-spoke. They're beveled. They're clean. They're almost impossible to get your hands on at this point.
right.
Very few and far between, and they're always expensive. And anytime I ever see a set, I'd have to have them. Like when 3-piece has a set, they're like, oh, 18 by 9.5 in the front, 18 by 12 in the back. I'm like, cool. So I got to give you $4,000 plus another 2 G's to rebarrel them. So now I'm $6,000 into a set of wheels. You know?
Just for wheel.
Just for a wheel. Before I put tires on them, like I got to hand you $6,000. There's those. Workmeister S1s. I've had a fucking boner for
Yeah.
Workmeister S1s because it's one of the. I have a huge thing for 5-spokes. 5-spoke
I'm
is
with you.
yeah.
I'm totally with you there.
So
They
you
look
know
great. They
they
look
do.
fucking great.
So like a set of Workmeister is 18 by 10 plus 38 all around. Would look great. You can squeeze 10-inch wheels under a factory V8 fender. You do have to roll it, but I don't really consider that anything crazy.
Right.
And you can put like a 275 on them. So you can
You
actually
can run 270.
you can run 275.
What?
Yeah, I've seen dudes do it. As long as the fenders are rolled and your offset's perfect, like you can run a 275 all 4 corners. So I could run PS4S's. Right, exactly.
Square.
Square.
275 square?
Square on an 18 by 10.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, like
Dude,
that's
you know, I'm 265 all the way around,
Are
right?
you
I knew you were
yeah,
265.
yeah.
So Mike's car is the most deceiving because
It doesn't
what do you
look
think
like
of,
he's got a bunch
what do
of
you think
tire
of
under it.
wide wheel? Exactly. You don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's got a bunch of tire under it. But then like because honestly, he's like when you look at a wide wheel, he's like you look for like the dish. Like if there's a dish and then it goes kind of
Right.
concave and bends out. But then if you're looking at Mike's ass, I mean not Mike's car's ass.
Good addendum.
What's up, girl?
Good addendum.
If you look at Mike's car's ass, basically it's like I don't know if you have any wrist shots on there.
No, it doesn't.
Uh,
It doesn't look like you're doing anything. It doesn't look like
Uh-uh.
you're doing anything at all. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Look, yeah,
Hit Mike's
Mike's car has a
Mike's
good
setup
stance.
looks like yeah, it's great.
Mike has a good setup. He's got a good setup. His biggest, your biggest holdback right now is your motor, but that's a whole other fucking set of problems.
yeah, I know.
No, so it'd be work equipped 5s, it'd be Workmeister S1s, it'd be T37s, even though you don't buy them in a 3-piece.
I mean,
They're fucking T37.
those are like the gold.
They don't ever
They're
look bad.
T37s. They don't.
Dude, my homie Tyrone DMs me. First of all, Tyrone's a Chinese cat, which is hilarious.
His name's-
Oh,
What? I'm like
No
Tyrone's
way.
brother.
It's been a running joke for like 15 years. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, he hits me up at Tyrese STI on Instagram. What's up, Tyrone? Um, he hits me up like 3 months ago, and he goes, "What do you have in your car? What did you do? Blah 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 blah." And I sent him the whole rundown because he'd seen my dyno sheet right from when I had my car dyno, right when I had it tuned. And I was like, "Hey, I did X Y Z, but like you probably won't be able to do this because he has a 16, so he's in the same boat as Mike, right?
Right.
There's some shit that he can't do." And he's like, "Okay, cool, thanks, appreciate it." He's like, "Yeah, I got some stuff on order." He did the Grimspeed EBCS and all that stuff. And he's like, "Oh, and I ordered a set of wheels." And I go, and he has a white STI. I go, "What wheels did you order?" He goes, "T37 Sagas." And I was like,
What?
"Oh, he went Mag Blue.
What?
Mag Blue T37 Sagas on a white STI."
What's his Instagram?
At
Dude, he's
Tyrese,
swinging. He's fucking
Tyree.
swinging.
Yeah, that one. First top one right there. Tyrone putting you on black. Yeah, so they haven't showed up yet, but you can see he just had his car dynoed. Just a white 16. So he hit like 295, I think.
294 and
Yeah.
320 torque.
Which is, I mean, he went to
Ain't bad.
Yimitune. He went to Yimitune down south. He's still in LA. But yeah, he did the cob intake and all that shit. But they just couldn't push it. He didn't do a pump, so that was like his biggest holdback, is he's running on full stock fuel system right now. Not that he'd get a lot more out of it after that, but
Right.
so, but yeah, it was like, damn, this fool really like dropped the $3,300 on a set of wheels before tires, and he did 18 by
What?
10. He did 18 by 10s. So I think he's gonna
Who would do that?
Fuck off, bro.
Him.
What was the actual OTD cost on those wheels? Like, keep it.
What do you?
No, keep
What,
it.
like, I honestly gave him a pack of yellow Starburst and a pack of hot Cheetos, and they're like, "Dude, this is a great trade for these things."
Tell me,
I'm like, "I know, man."
Give me the number. Give me the number.
What
give me,
do you mean?
I want to know what the
Don't
number.
be a bitch.
For the record, Chris had a photo shoot with Brixton, but they did not sponsor his car. I know that for a fact. So, what was the
Yes.
cost?
I know what the cost was. You already told me. So.
I know what the suspension
What?
cost. I know what the suspension cost. Just Google KWV3s for a fucking 16 SS. But what did?
At one point in everyone's life, you're like, "Man, I think I'm gonna keep this car." And
Well,
then,
can you just stop? Just tell me what they cost.
Hey, kid, here, I'll put it in perspective. I'm looking at spending right now $10,000 on a motor bill for my STI.
about 25, 25 for the full set of 4,
100?
and then tires. Yeah, 2,500.
That's not bad.
That ain't bad.
That's not bad.
It's
I
not.
wouldn't-
It's
I
not
wouldn't be
bad.
mad at that.
It's
I
not
wouldn't
bad.
be mad at that. No.
My
Oh, that's
suspension.
great.
My
your suspension was like
Plus the
32.
free tires.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got free tires, you bitch.
No,
Oh.
no.
Yeah, I know. You guys still have jobs you have to- No, but real
Car
talk,
business
the
life.
the set of wheels that I'm most likely to pick up, and I never thought that I would say this out loud, but a set of triple chrome CR Kawamis in 19 by 9.5 plus 35. I never thought I'd want a set of chrome wheels, but I sent them to you guys. It's the same set
you
that and I'm like, on a black car, triple chrome.
I'm thinking about it. So triple chrome, is it like black chrome or is it like
No. It's
hella
chrome.
white?
It's blanging. They blanging. I put them
What?
bangs on it.
Yeah,
Why?
it's extra chrome. It's not triple chrome black. It's black. It's chrome.
like chrome, when chrome was a thing, chrome.
like 1980s Cadillac chrome.
like chrome, like
Yeah.
Look at him!
Chrome.
Look at him!
Yeah. I
Chrome.
kept them things on it, bruh. They tens, I keep them cleans though.
the
Like,
fuck.
look
Are you
them
trying
up.
to blind people as? Are you
I
trying to
want
blind
Mike
people?
to look.
as
I'm
you're
gonna
driving
put the I'm gonna hold please. I'm gonna show you.
English.
Oh,
I'm gonna-
please.
Like, we can, like,
Oh,
zoom it.
there he is.
Is it
You know,
totally
I
crashed.
feel like Discord heard you were like trying to put chrome wheels on your STI, and they're like, "Hey, walk real quick."
It's to the point where it wouldn't even let me. It wouldn't even let me put it in the chat, dude. Like it wouldn't even yeah. It wouldn't even let me put it in there.
It's
Timmy,
like
I still
it's
don't
like,
have
nah,
your video.
we can't let him go out like this.
So Mike, if you want
Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
if you want to, well, I mean, it's literally an everybody watching the podcast problem. So, Mike, if you want to go to Instagram and look up 3-piece wheel US, and then scroll down, They have a picture of them on there. Everybody froze and cracked out. It got bad for a second there.
Yeah, it froze when your screen froze when you're like going on a walk somewhere. It's like, oh fuck, where's he going?
No, I was.
Who, me?
What? Type in
Dude,
three piece. No, type in 3-piece. It should pop up. 3-piece wheel something. One word.
Oh, all one word. I got you.
Yeah, 3-piece is one word. It's like 3-piece wheel US or something like that.
Right here.
Yeah, scroll down. It's pretty far down. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's a shot of one wheel if that helps. Keep going. A little more. They're outside. Keep going. Three-piece does work. I don't know if you guys can notice that or not.
Dude, those are kind of gangster right there. I like
Yeah, those are T7Rs.
Those aren't bad. Oh, way to go, the VSX.
The
I got,
VSXXs, yeah.
I got a soft spot for those, man.
No, they're clean.
Okay, so the thing with 3-piece, like, since they're literally a 3-piece wheel, it's like, does that hardware ever loosen up? Like, do you end
No,
up
if
losing
they're
both?
properly assembled, fuck, dude, I hope I didn't like lose it because it
Oh,
busted
so
so
I
much
I
shit.
forgot to show you guys that I found my receipt for my block, and I
Keep going.
paid
I think
$2,700 for it after
Jesus
my
Christ.
donation.
2700?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, how'd you get
That's
so hooked
cheap.
up, bro?
That is cheap.
Oh, I told you, I knew
They're
the
farther
guy
down,
that
Mike.
got my block for me knew the guy at Import Image Racing, so he got me a discount. And Lauren just found the
Keep
invoice the
going.
other day. It's
Jesus, they're
twenty
so down
seven
there.
hundred bucks.
Wait. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Nah, keep going. I think they're still farther down. I feel like I looked pretty far through them the other day. It'll be one of
What
the
the
ones. Those are those are heritage wheels. Fuck, maybe
So
the
what if
past or something.
Mike just like built a block for himself and gave me his block and put it in my
I'm with
WRX?
it. I think that's a great idea. Keep going. Fuck, where are they at?
I think that is a great idea.
Here, let me do this. Let me do this real quick.
Notice how Mike didn't say anything because he's down.
Of course he's. I'm gonna look it up. Mike. I'm just gonna.
I need to talk to M45 too, because I don't know, like, if they're building my motor, are they taking my block?
Yeah,
They'll
like
probably
that's
do
the
a core
question.
charge.
Yeah, it'd be my guess.
Which Instagram are you on right now, Mike? You on the Rev Match one?
No, this is
Red Knight STI.
Which account are you logged into? Is what I'm saying.
my own personal.
The Mike one.
Vinny.
The Vinny.
The
Okay.
Vinny.
Oh my gosh. Look. Oh! I love the fucking. What, 1, 2, 3. Number 5. The set of
Oh, do
5.
you
The
though?
BSKSs.
The wide spoke. Oh my god.
Looks like a Mustang wheel.
That looked great. So, like, I've always seen those cars on, like, what, 240s? Like,
240s and like big body shit. Yeah.
yeah. So, is that chrome or is that polished?
That's polished.
Fuck you, Timmy.
Yes.
I need to find these wheels, bro. That's wow. I already know where that joke was going, and I'm really glad it wasn't part of it.
Can we,
Bro, where
off
is?
topic, can we build 240s? That'd be great.
Dude, I'm with it. I'll case swap a
I
240 in a minute.
mean, I think we should purchase the first generation Cayman manual transmission that
No,
got
no, no,
traded in
no,
over
no,
the
no, no,
weekend.
no, 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 no. We ain't buying no Porsches, bro. I want some
We're,
hood
we're
shit.
normal. We're normal guys.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not gonna go fucking 6-man in on a Cayman. Like, get out of here.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
not trying
like
to
we put a
share
V8
custody. I'm
into a
not trying to
Cayman.
share. Oh, like that Coyote swapped one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
where is
cool.
this wheel at,
But the
bro?
thing is, like,
Holy
if
God.
we blow them, if we blew that Cayman's motor, that would be a painful day.
Well, that's your problem because we're swapping a motor in it.
That means you just blow it first and like then you swap it. Like that would be my
Yeah.
proof
Timmy,
for
how
like
much you
buying
buy
a
that
three.
car for?
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
Do you know what they're in that car for?
16.
1,000?
Yeah,
That's not
What?
bad.
It's not bad at
16.
all.
It was a first generation Cayman with 90,000 miles on it, manual transmissions, Cayman S. I don't know anything else about it.
Yo, they might have
But
taken this photo down. That sucks.
on Monday, I'll know about it when I get to get ready for the trade in.
All right, I got nothing. I can't find it, but it's there somewhere. I'll be right back.
Alex broke the seal.
No, he did break the seal. So, like, going back to our former function topic, wide body Cayman, is it worth it?
Yes,
Really?
absolutely.
I mean, how much power did that car make stock?
The Cayman, first gen Cayman.
First gen Cayman.
It's an S
Oh, she's coming for you.
295.
How much?
295.
So you got 295 horsepower on like a wide body kit. What?
Okay,
Like,
hold on,
there's
Mike.
like
Is that on the small motor or the big motor?
That's on an S.
Okay.
It was a base. I think it was like 250, 245.
so you'd need to have at least more power to justify going wider
But
wheelbase.
the
Yeah.
but the Cayman is just like a Miata, right? But with more power. Essentially, I mean, it literally
Essentially, yeah.
in corner wise, you don't really have to lift your foot. That
You're
was the beauty of
constantly in
those
it.
cars.
Hmm.
That
It'd be
was
interesting.
that was literally the beauty of those cars, and that's why Porsche knows if they put any more horsepower in a Boxer or a Cayman, there's no need for a 911. There
Yeah.
really isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that new GT4 that came out. I'm like, that car's a beast.
No,
Like, there's
Chris,
a
you
fucking-
think the GT4 is a beast? Just wait, because they already released spy photos of the GT4 RS.
Yes, they did.
what GT4 RS?
Why do
Yeah.
you need to have a Cayman GT? Whatever.
To take the
Damn,
911
bro.
out of the market.
So I was like,
Listen. Okay, let's just act like we're not poor for a second. Everybody knows that like the Cayman got handicapped because Porsche couldn't have another car take out the 911 when the Cayman
I
is
literally just said that. I was like, Porsche knows.
obviously the superior platform. Like,
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why do you think all the RSRs, the RI or GT
They're
cars,
all
all
mid-engine.
they're all mid-engine now. They flip
Yeah.
the engine and transmission around.
because you can only push a rear engine platform so
Why
far.
did the C8 go to a mid-engine platform?
It's the obvious pinnacle. All right,
Yeah.
so we're at the like hour and 40-minute mark. So let's roll through. I did my dream set of wheels. Let's do everybody a dream set of wheels and let's wrap it up. So I did mine. Who's next?
So here's my problem. We were talking about this while you were gone. I don't have a dream set of wheels. I
Okay.
really don't. So
Okay.
my thing is form over function. I want functionality. I'm not tremendously care about how much they look, although I do go for an aesthetic thing on them. Like especially with like my STI, like I wanted a wheel that's gonna fit right. I could put the most tire down that I possibly could, knowing that a friend of ours had the same setup essentially on a 2012 STI,
Okay.
and that thing ripped. I mean,
Right.
that thing ripped through canyons. He had Hoosiers on these wheels, but to me, like I just want a wheel that I know is going to hold up to the abuse that I'm going to give it. Looks good going down the road, and for the most part is durable. I mean,
Right.
that's what I look for, and it's not necessarily I have like a dream setup. Um, four
Don't
wheels,
buy
I guess.
fake wheel. Don't buy fake wheels, kid. Don't buy fake wheels.
Don't
At
buy
least
reps.
Don't buy
spend the
reps.
money
They
to
get you
buy-
nowhere. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have when I bought the STI, I got a set of knockoff, like Inkies,
Yeah.
something like that. They're from Wheel Dude. Which Wheel Dude doesn't make bad wheels? I mean, they really don't.
Rhoda.
Or Rhoda, whatever. I mean, they have decent looking
Rhoda
stuff.
grids just on every
Ooh.
Hawkeye on the planet. Yeah, no, I know. It's
Ooh.
bad.
Yeah, no, I have those sitting in my garage up in the rafters. So
I had a set of XXRs on my second 240. Like I can't like super talk shit, but
it's a good looking wheel. It's a good
It's
looking
not
wheel.
bad.
it's a
not
good
bad.
looking wheel. And then I did 6 months of canyon runs, and I had 3 cracks in the same wheel. So NBD, dog. Yeah, it's bad. Just spend the money. Spend the money. Buy
Buy
the good
rear wheels.
wheels, or keep your stocks if you can't afford them, and put good tires on it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Keep my stocks.
Your car needs a drop in wheels.
Yeah, Chris is
Timmy's
gonna pay
car
for it.
would
I'm just waiting for
What
it.
the fuck? What the fuck?
All right, no, let's kick this. Timmy, what wheels? If Chris was gonna pay for them, what wheels
Um,
would you put on your car?
well, I don't know that they would go on my Audi. There's something I always wanted on my WRX, but I did always want the Workmeister S1.
Yeah.
I'm like you, Alex. I do like the 5-spoke setup. But the S1 just looks so clean. Like type in S4, Mike. See if they're on any S4s. Because I don't really know how they would fit on an S4. I feel like the S4 needs like a BBS style wheel,
Or
more
like an
like a spider
HRE.
spoke. Yeah,
See, that's a
Oh,
that's
that's
clean.
wet.
But that's a
but
That'd
that's
be
B6.
also
wet.
like a 2008. That's
But
not
that's
my
fucking
generation
clean.
at all.
What year is your 19?
I'm a 19.
Type it in.
That's
See
like
if
a
there's a car.
fucking
Oh.
2009.
Oh.
I mean, that's just the front end. You can't even
Ooh,
see.
nah, get
Okay,
at it.
okay.
Yo, that is church, bruh.
That's still like a 2018. Okay, fuck you all.
No, that's
That
nah. That
is
would play.
mint.
That
That
would
is
play.
mint.
That is mint. That would play
I
hard.
Mike, type in
Timmy's
2019.
getting
See
Timmy's
if
getting
anybody's
back.
on a
Timmy's
19.
definitely getting backed.
Huh? I tried
Oh,
2019 Audi S4.
You're
you know,
probably.
Oh,
this point
okay. That's
we
not a
didn't. We,
19. That's not a
Doesn't
19.
matter. It didn't change that
that's
much.
close. That's
Hey,
close enough.
you
That's
know
close
what, Alex?
enough.
I know where you work. Nowhere.
That's right. So you don't know where to find me, motherfucker.
Ah!
No,
All right, kitty.
yeah, I think. Listen, I think Japanese. Oh my, is my video freezing on your guys' end, or am I good?
You're
No,
good.
you're good.
Japanese wheels on German cars are highly underrated.
Yeah.
Highly
Yes.
underrated.
Yeah.
Um, every like E46 M3 I've ever seen on like T37s,
Oh, dude.
super crispy.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Chris,
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, is this like a moot point? I feel like you spent the money on the set of wheels you wanted.
Yeah, this is it. I'm committed.
See, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I'd want wheels like
committed.
Chris. Like,
mesh?
I like the wheel style Chris got. Like,
mesh,
if
Like
yeah.
the pattern and stuff.
yeah, the pattern. Like, I like the spider spoke. I like the heavy. There's a lot going on wheel, and I think that fits the Audi S4.
It fits
My
German
whole thing
cars very
was-
well.
I wanted a concave wheel, and not a lot of wheel companies make concave wheels, and it just gives it appearance of having a dish. That
Yeah.
was my whole premise
I-
behind it.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy about this, and there's some cars that I still prefer like the lip on. Mainly,
Mhm.
it's like muscle cars, Fox bodies, fourth gen Marrows, that kind of stuff, right? I
Mhm.
think
Okay,
that
make it up close to video wheels.
the lip still looks good, but anything newer, dude, I think the concave is just
Yeah.
it's way cleaner. It's just super
Yeah.
clean, and pretty. I don't think I can't say it's slept on because a lot of people are doing it, but um, it gives a more OEM look. So like
Yeah.
if you're going for a really clean, which is why I like CR Kwame so much. If you're going for a
Yeah.
really clean street style build, a concave without a dumbass amount of lip will give you
Yeah.
that vibe. Especially if the tire
Yeah.
setup's right, it's not super stretched or anything like that. Like you'll end up with
Yeah.
a really, really, really clean look. So,
Sure.
so
I know
yeah.
one thing we didn't touch on was like other than the form of the function thing, which would have been huge, was bags versus what suspension. Like,
Oh, we didn't even
Philip.
talk
we didn't
about
even
that.
go there.
We didn't-
Yeah,
we
didn't
didn't
go
touch
there.
that.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even
huge.
get to springs versus coilovers. I
we
mean,
didn't.
then,
like,
like,
No, we
we have magnetic
about-
ride suspension.
okay. Well, let's put a pin in that. We got next week. We got next week. You can revisit. We can
Got
do
next week.
function V form V2 next week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we really.
I
stuck
mean,
to-
it's such a big topic.
yeah, it's
That's
got. I mean, this is
huge
like the
topic.
biggest. Yeah, I think we could do a 7-part series on this. But I think we stuck mainly aesthetics, transmissions, and stuff this time. But I think that would be a good conversation for next time. On that being said, thanks fellas for tuning in. Fuck Johnny, even though
Gentlemen.
it's his birthday.
Johnny
Yep.
back
Just
next
kidding.
week.
Just kidding. And thanks to anybody who listens to this. This has been the Rev Match Podcast, and we appreciate your time. You guys have a good rest of the week. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Hey.
Gunner.